Hello, and welcome to the newscast of TVA. Lately, the policeman arrested the murderer of Martin Luther King Jr., James Earl Ray, at the London Heathrow Airport. The fugitive tried to leave the United Kingdom on a false Canadian passport by the name of Raymond George Sneyd. Gary is on the field. Gary, what do you have to say about the arrestation of James Earl Ray?
As you know, 2 months ago, King was killed by one shot which went through his face and his neck. The murderer, James Earl Ray, shot from a bathroom in his rooming house. Ray learned where Martin Luther King was staying from a newspaper and television. He then used a false identity to get a hotel room in front of Martin Luther King's hotel, the Lorraine Hotel. Shortly after the assassination, the police found a .30.06 Remington rifle, and the investigation by the FBI led them to an apartment in Atlanta where they found fingerprints of James Earl Ray.
I am here to inform you of a tragic event. I am here to inform you that Martin Luther King has been assassinated from a shot coming from his opposite room's bathroom at this hotel. I know that some of you may be filled with anger, especially since the assassin is believed to be a white man. King's effort will always be remembered because he has made a great impact on our history. What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not violence or lawlessness, but love and wisdom, and compassion toward one another, and a feeling of justice towards those who still suffer within our country, whether they be white or whether they be black.
The King's family and others think that the assassination was carried out by a conspiracy involving the US government, and that James Earl Ray was a scapegoat. Now I'm with Jesse Jackson, who was there during the assassination.
Absolutely. The fact is there were saboteurs to disrupt the march, and that in our own organization we found a very key person who was on the government payroll. I will never believe that James Earl Ray had the money, the mobility, or the motivation to have done it himself.
What were your first thoughts after the assassination?
The atmosphere in the room was very, very sad. Martin Luther King was not only a leader for us, but he represented hope, pride, and dignity for our nation.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
But I think it was a good thing for America, the death of Martin Luther King Jr. All these manifestations cost a lot to our government. They were breaking windows, or houses, or buildings, everything. They were dangerous. They were always scared to receive a bullet of glass on the head or a punch in the face. The death of this Negro diminished the number of these crazy manifestations, and for this reason, I think the absence of this man is benefit to the USA. You know what I say? If this man is dead, it is not for no reason. It is God who chose him to die. James Earl Ray was kind of messenger of God, like Jesus was in his time. So, for this reason, I do not agree with the decision of the authority to arrest James Earl Ray, unless it is what God wants to happen.
For many people, the arrest of James Earl Ray is a good news.
It is a good thing that this man can now face his accusation. Martin Luther King's assassination was a personal attack on each of us. Martin Luther King knew the risk that he had when he began this a long time ago due to the racism that is part of the United States of America. He was a brave man
who in the end died because of what he was doing, and that white people do not want to be equals to black people. Martin Luther King's soul can now rest in peace. He has all my respect, and I hope all the respect of every other black people in the nation. He sacrificed a lot of things for us, even his life. James Earl deserved the death penalty, nothing less. He killed a true leader, and it is terrible. He killed Martin Luther King, who knew how to fight for a cause without using violence. He only used his voice. Everybody listened to him during his speeches. I even thought for a second that there would be no more racism in the United States of America, but since he's gone, I do not think so anymore. Whatever the race, the gender, or the color, a murder is unacceptable. All the racism in the United States it just brings unnecessary trouble. We should just accept black people, live with them, and accept their differences. I don't see any problem in integrating the black people in our society. I only want peace between the races. No more killing. I'm just sick and tired of all this.
As you can see, the arrest of James Earl Ray relieves many people and shows that King will never be forgotten.
Thank you, Gary. For some, the assassination of Martin Luther King meant the end of a strategy of non-violence. Others simply reaffirmed the need to carry on his work. The arrest of James Earl Ray will heal the broken heart of a big number of people who have been shocked by King's murder, who may be, for now, one of the most influential events of this century.